ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Under cross-examination, Michael Cohen admitted to stealing $30,000 from the Trump Organization by inflating invoices during his time as then businessman Donald Trump's attorney and fixer. Trump's lawyers also pointed out Cohen's lucrative consulting deals. ABC's Aaron Katersky at court said this appears to be a tactic.
The defense attorney seeks to be doing is suggesting all the ways that Michael Cohen made money from his title as personal attorney to Trump.
The judge said closing arguments will not begin this week, although the prosecution is expected to conclude its case today. Israel and Hamas both criticizing the International Criminal Court's pursuit of arrest warrants for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Hamas leaders for war crimes. The U.S. does not recognize the ICC. And tugboats have moved the container ship from the spot in Baltimore where it hit a bridge, causing it to collapse in March. This is ABC News.
Memorial Day is nearly here. Time to fire up for grilling season. Head to omahasteaks.com for the Memorial Day sale with 50% off site-wide. That's 50% off grilling favorites like tender steaks, beefy burgers, and much more. Plus, use promo code QUALITY at checkout to save an extra $30. Their unconditional money-back guarantee backs every purchase. At omahasteaks.com, use code QUALITY at checkout for an extra $30 off. Minimum order may be required.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
The Omaha Steaks semi-annual sale is here. Get 50% off site-wide and save on mouthwatering favorites today. Go to omahasteaks.com and shop the semi-annual sale, where you can load up on all the delicious flavor you crave at half the price. And when you use promo code SIZZLE at checkout, you'll get an extra $30 off your order. Save big on delicious, tender, juicy steaks, big, beefy burgers, and so much more. With Omaha Steaks, the possibilities are endless. Endless flavor and endless value. Every purchase is backed by their unconditional money-back guarantee. Simply go to omahasteaks.com and shop the semi-annual sale today. And don't forget to use promo code SIZZLE at checkout to get an extra $30 off your order. Hurry, because this deal won't last long. Kickstart your spring grilling today. That's omahasteaks.com. Promo code SIZZLE at checkout. Minimum purchase may apply.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
Listen, you can't handle the truth.
It's about to go off.
Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
And a good Monday afternoon to you, and yes, it is time for the McFarland Show. Darren and Justin live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Orange Damon is alongside for the ride until 4 o'clock. Don't forget, George Plaster will join us, or will join up. That's all, folks.
He's going to join us.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Just not us. Just,
He'll be following our show.
Yeah.
Boy, that little 15-second window was kind of like the Braves when they were up 5-1.
Yeah.
Just a big old gag.
Yeah. He had, he gave up 4 in the top of the 8th there and
cruising.
Goodbye.
I mean, cruise. Told Justin, I was like, man, hot diggity dog.
Yeah.
Man, but coming in, I was like 5-1, Braves cruising in the 7th. Oh, we're going to be on time. We're going to be good today.
Nope.
Sorry. Wrong. Padres win 6-5. By the way, George's first show, George Plaster, Kelly Holcomb, Billy Derrick, following our show, will be abbreviated because the Braves got rained out Saturday night, and they're playing again, so it's a day-night doubleheader. So, like 5:05 is when the coverage begins.
Yes. Yeah, because 5:20 is first pitch, I believe.
5:05 coverage beginning 5:20 first pitch for the nightcap. Heard right here on WNSR. So George Plaster following our show until he sends it straight to Braves baseball. The Bravos. Tough loss today for my favorite team.
I don't think he's going to sound that happy about it.
No, probably not. How was your weekend?
Sound a little bit more disgusted. Weekend was good. Weekend was fine. Took in a little basketball and things like that. So it was uneventful and okay.
You took in a little basketball like live and in person, or like watch?
Oh no.
Watch Game 7.
Watch some Game 7s.
Okay.
With the Knicks and with the Knicks and with the Nuggets and the Timberwolves last night.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Man, championship run over.
Yikes. Up 20?
Yeah.
Lose at home?
Ugh.
After losing by 45 in Game 6?
That's rough stuff. That's a long summer.
Yikes.
Hope you enjoy that championship trophy.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it's going to be a long summer. And so now, we're down to the Final Four in the NBA. And, if you're a Boston Celtics fan, you've got to be salivating at this point. But, there's other teams that are very scrappy, so we'll see. I know we don't talk a lot of NBA here, but, I'm just saying, if the Celtics are gonna finally get this done for this particular Celtics squad or generation of Celtics players, this to me would seem like the time to go do it.
I don't know. The Knicks, unfortunately, dealt with a lot of injuries.
Yeah, they were really banged up.
And then Brunson got banged up in Game
broke
7.
His hand.
So
yeah.
They were kind of, moving forward, if they would have found a way, I don't know how much of a threat that I actually think getting Indiana is probably the worst draw, considering all the injuries the Knicks had. So the Knicks would have been the more favorable opponent.
Yeah.
Hats off to the Pacers.
I'm not saying that the Pacers are going to be pushovers. I'm not suggesting that. I just think Boston should be the better team and should win this game. Win the series, I would think, in like 6 games. I'm not saying the Pacers are stinkers. The Pacers can play.
Our buddy Johnny in Vancouver tweets at us. Having lunch, remember, they're in British Columbia. So
they are.
It's lunchtime there.
2 hours behind, I believe.
He said, having lunch for the first time ever with family. You put the idea in my head, D-Mac. They're at Cheesecake Factory. And he said, my goodness, You're right. Largest menu I've ever seen.
Oh, man.
It's a book.
Yeah.
Like, if there was a quiz, I would not do well.
Yeah, it's a small phone book there.
It is, yes, and folks, that is this paper.
Pause. A phone book
is, and it had everybody's name and number in it. This was a while back, I know.
Years ago.
For those who don't get the phone book reference, but those existed. They were in every house.
Yes.
It's weird. They would actually drop them off on your porch.
Right there on your porch.
Yeah, it was weird, but those.
Wouldn't even have to go get them. They bring them to you.
They don't exist anymore.
No, they don't.
But anyway.
But no, that's what it is. To look through one of those things, they should give you extra time to come through to make sure that you've seen everything. So, I didn't know they had them in Canada, but that makes sense. Why wouldn't they have them in Canada?
Honestly, I didn't either.
But I've never thought about that either. Why wouldn't they have them in Canada? That only makes sense.
Yeah. So, Johnny, enjoy your first time eating at Cheesecake Factory in Vancouver.
I wonder if the menu's different up there.
Probably not.
Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
You don't
Why?
think they would change?
It's a franchise. They
would have some things, specific to the region up there. They do a lot of
fishing
fishing
more
up that way.
Seafood.
Some seafood that way. I don't know.
Again, it's a 64-page menu.
That's true.
There's seafood here if you go to Green Hills.
That's true.
I think Cheesecake Factory is seafood, pretty much.
They're everything.
It's not just.
Well,
no,
I'm telling you, when I've been there, I've only seen seafood and cheesecakes.
Well, that's incorrect.
Have you leafed all
there
the
are
way through the
cheesecakes.
menu?
Maybe that's why I haven't went through the whole menu.
Yeah, I was saying, did you just stop at the seafood section?
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
That's what it was.
So,
no way in the world.
Hey, good morning, by the way.
Or afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
It's not Captain D's in there.
No.
It's
they got
other stuff.
Speaking of those phone books, I still use them for steps, by the way, to get in my house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sometimes.
Get something on top of the refrigerator?
Right.
There you go.
Thought I'd share that.
I don't have phone books. I don't know.
I don't know. We got rid of those a long time ago.
Yeah, they're gone. Way gone.
They were good for multiple things, though. That's true. You can use them They were good for doorstops, desk. You can write things on top of phone books. I've written
100%.
papers, I know, on top of phone books without question.
For sure.
Taking loose leaf paper and just writing on top of it. Absolutely, I have. So you can do or use them to step up, prop things up.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm sure there are bookshelves being held up right now by phone books as we speak, somewhere across the Midstate. Absolutely.
Thank you, my man cave. But anyway,
there you go.
Well, good for you for still having them because they're big.
They are.
They're huge.
Yeah,
they take up a lot of space. In fact, that's where I kept them. Usually, I think on top of the refrigerator, kind of out of the way.
Yeah, out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want them down below. You want them up high somewhere. Yeah, because it's too much space.
So I always get messed up with these Braves games. Like, where are we, Damon? Like, how does this work coming in? Like, this when do we have to
I
break?
think this is pregame, so it's probably set up where it'll be automatically at that time.
So go to 2:40.
Or when is our next break?
That's what I'm
When's our
getting.
next break?
Yeah,
well, we can go to break now at we need the first break. We haven't done it yet, so we need to go ahead and do a break, I guess.
We do? Okay, listen.
You sure?
You the producer.
Are you
You
sure?
tell me.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
we haven't done one break yet. We got to do the first break first. So I would say get this one in now, then 2:40, then we'll be back on regular schedule.
Okay. All right.
That's what
Your
he said.
call.
That's what he
All
said.
right. This is what Damon's saying.
That's what he said.
We're doing it.
All right.
We're doing it. Let's do it.
Let's do it live.
This is live radio.
I'm looking forward to hear from Tony, too, today, because I'm shouting out at Vanderbilt later.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Vanderbilt.
Well, we are wide open this first hour if you want to get involved. We will step away for a few minutes, pay some bills, and come back. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line if you want to get involved. We are the McFarland Show, and we're live here on this Monday afternoon in the Strikers Bear Family Fun Center studio. We'll be back here on WNSR.
A friend of mine just bought a new house for the first time. A new house. I mean, my wife and I'd love to own a house. So I asked him how he did it. And he smiled and he said he went to the knowledge tree. He had this happy look on his face. So I told him to tell me more. And he said, John, the lack of knowledge will keep you poor. Then he handed me a brochure. It was from Knowledge Tree Mortgage. Now I understood. And after one phone call, I understood even more. Knowledge Tree Mortgage specializes in first-time home buyers. Folks like me who get the runaround from banks, and he got us pre-qualified. Knowledge Tree Mortgage got us our mortgage. And tomorrow, my wife and I are going to become first-time home buyers. Here's the number, 859-9599. 859-9599. Money doesn't grow on trees. Knowledge does. Knowledge Tree Mortgage, 859-9599. 859-9599.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by its doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. I was sent Relief Factor for me to try. I've been taking it every single day, and I do feel the difference. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
And now, Caesars Plumbing and Mechanical LLC is reminding motorists to slow down on our roadways. Keep an eye out for kids at play and never text and drive. This message is brought to you by veteran-owned and operated Caesars Plumbing and Mechanical LLC, serving up to a 50-mile radius from Nashville. For residential or commercial septic and plumbing installations, repairs, service, and construction, give the pros a call today and ask about their veteran and first responder discounts. 615-295-5359, 615-295-5359, or visit CaesarsPlumbing.com.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part. Unlike mornings, which have no good parts. Until now. Because with Wendy's new breakfast Cinnabon Pull-Apart, mornings finally don't completely suck. And now that mornings have warm cinnamon sugar rolled dough and ooey gooey frosting, are they the best part of every day? Probably not, but you get the idea. Get to Wendy's today and get the best part in every bite with the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPV, LLC.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
We were here when Eddie George left. We were here when Chris Johnson left. They had to move on too. And Derrick Henry is doing the same. These guys cannot stay forever. That's just the deal.
That's just what it is.
It's just what
Derrick
it is.
Henry made it to 30, and most people are ready to put 30-year-old running backs out to pasture.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
Text the Strike and Spare studio now at 615-844-5600. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
You are indeed listening. You can also watch. We're easy on the eyes. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. It's a good-looking show. You can watch us every day from 2 until 4 o'clock. Our phone line and text line is 615-844-5600. Nate down in Columbia said Damon's math is mathing today. The first break is indeed first. Well done. Nate goes on to say, by the way, taking a walk today, I need some noise canceling headphones. Man, these cicadas are loud.
Yeah.
They are very loud. They're very active. So I had to drop my car off to get a dent fixed today. So I'm in a rental. And I was a rental establishment this morning, and the cicadas were in the building, like in the lobby.
Oh, yeah.
They're everywhere. A man walked in. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
In front of me, a customer, he had 2 cicadas stuck to his back.
Yeah. Oh, it's real.
And I'm like, excuse me, sir, you have 2 cicadas on your back.
That's right. What always cracks me up about what is starting to crack me up about this particular event is that people are going outside and pretending as if they can do normal outside activities. Like, you know, and nothing against Nate. Nate, you know, it's a free country. He can go take a walk if he wants to, you know, but to pretend like you can go take a walk and the cicadas aren't going to be there and they aren't going to be loud and it's not going to be a problem.
They're going to leave you alone.
I don't know what they're going to be here and it's going to be a thing. So I've adjusted my schedule for outside activities until the cicadas are gone. Because I don't want to be bothered with the cicadas.
And they're gone.
Yeah. I'm not going to go outside and pretend like the cicadas are going to leave me alone because I had an outside agenda. They've been having this outside agenda now for 13 to 17 years. They've been waiting for this.
I would suggest people walk in the evening time when they get quieter, like around 5 or 6.
They do get quieter at night. That is true.
Yeah.
But they're out there.
They are.
And they're going to be there.
They even told me it was going to take longer to get. They said the problem that they're having, this is what they're telling me, when they're cleaning the cars up, you know, to give to the customer, they're leaving all the doors open so they can clean the inside of the cars.
Again,
and the problem is, the cicadas are just flying in and they're
bad idea.
Right.
You're acting as if things are normal and things are not. See, this is what I'm talking about. We're leaving the doors open like we know. No, you cannot act like you always do. You cannot do things that you are used to doing. The cicadas are here. You have to be inconvenienced for the next few weeks.
Stopped at the gas station today and the cicada got in my car and just laid it right on the side by my driver's side.
Yeah.
Like,
you know
hey,
why?
buddy.
Because your door was open. That's why. You get out the car, you got to shut your door unless you want the cicadas in there.
And it's like 20 of them laying on the side of the road dead, just dead.
I'm going to be mean for just a second. They're dumb. They're really dumb animals.
I mean,
or bugs. Whatever they are.
For
they're dumb.
Whatever force you believe in, whether, you know, it's God or nature or, you know, Big Bang or whatever, there's something made sure these things were here.
But they just fly around aimlessly. They have no purpose.
No,
they just run into anything and everything.
We're told their purpose is to die and fertilize
mate
soil.
And die, right?
Yeah, mate and die because they fertilize the soil that are good for the trees.
Yeah.
That's
when
what
they live, don't the eggs live off the tree sap or whatever?
That is correct.
Yeah.
And then the cycle begins again.
But I'm just saying they're not very smart.
They're not here to be smart. They're not here.
They're low IQ bugs.
They're not here to make lithium batteries. They're not here for that.
I kind of feel like they didn't finish school. You know,
No,
it felt like they dropped out in 8th grade.
That is not their purpose.
I hit about 5 of them on the way in. Just popped on my windshield.
They only have 3-week lifespans.
Like they don't
have time
try to
for school.
avoid. Yeah, they don't try to avoid anything. It's like they're on a suicide mission.
Yeah. Well, they're here for a short time. So if one just lived and died its natural life, it'd be here for 3 weeks.
Yeah. So they just don't care.
They just don't care.
They don't care.
They're only here for 3 weeks.
And they don't care.
What do I care
like
if I
them.
hit your car? I got 2 more weeks anyway.
3
What do
weeks
I
at
care?
a time. They're done.
They don't care. They don't care if you walk around or not. They gonna get in your ear, your hair.
Yeah.
Well, again, they don't care.
They don't care.
They're like, I'm about to die, so I'm going to do whatever I want.
I'm going to do what I want while I'm here. What you going to do? Kill me? I was about to die anyway. Go ahead. Try me. They don't care.
I think we should see this part of Justin on TV during the day. You know?
What happened?
Just that excitement.
No,
he
he's,
had.
look, the TV's TV and radio's different.
All right.
Radio's different.
Really? I didn't know that. Thank you.
It is, yes. Nate can text about that. Thank
Yes,
you,
he
Darren.
can.
Deep thoughts. TV's different.
Oh, you better believe it.
615-844-5600. Let's go to Nolansville, where I'll be later tonight. Tony, what's up?
Good afternoon, guys, and hello, Damon. Talking about these cicadas. Darren, the other day I was riding down Rocky Springs, and you could go like 1,000 yards, and you're hearing the crazy buzz, and then you could hit a patch and you don't hear nothing. It was really odd. Then you'd ride a while, then you'd hear the buzz again, then you'd hear nothing. It was really odd that they were in like sections.
Well,
like
if
talking
you've
about these
noticed,
cicadas.
there are signs that say quiet zone. And so those are probably, you were going through the cicada quiet zones.
Well, I hope so, because those little red eyes, surely they can read everything.
Yeah, they're ugly too, aren't they? They're ugly bugs. Ugly and dumb.
Mr.
Bad combo.
McFarland, Mr. Justin McFarland.
I'm here.
You need to go back and look at your tape this morning.
Okay.
And you and Miss Jennifer Waddell.
Yes.
Darren, you're going to love this. She says, talking about Shopley's winning putt.
Yes,
was
yes,
a
I know.
65-foot putt. It was a 6-foot 2-inch putt.
Listen, Tony.
And she said, what did she say again?
Tony.
He said it was a 65-foot putt.
Tony.
Wow.
Tony. That's what was written.
Let's see how TV
Darren,
Justin handles this one.
That was a long putt, wasn't it?
Justin's response, Darren. Justin's response when she says 65-foot putt to win, his response is,
More gas.
The same response you get a lot of
Oh, I
times.
know.
on your
I know.
show.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm laughing. That's why I'm laughing.
Listen.
Hey, he didn't say no. I think it was a 6 foot. He said,
Tony, we were up against the break. We had to keep it moving, Tony.
Corrected for you.
We were up against the break,
Can
Tony.
you peel back the curtain and tell us what you said
no,
during
I
the
can't.
break?
No, I can't.
It's
Yeah,
almost like
I have an
peeling back
NDA,
an
so I
onion.
can't tell you about that. But sorry, I have an NDA in the contract. I can't tell you about the commercial break afterwards. But
65-foot putt.
it didn't. Yes, we know it didn't go that way. It didn't go that way. But you did notice what I said. That it was a really big trophy. Did you hear that part, Tony? That it was a big trophy.
Yeah,
I made sure to notice that.
You said,
Yes, that point. That's a really big trophy. He's carrying too. You see the
65
size of that
foot
trophy?
65-foot trophy.
I didn't give a measurement on the trophy. I did not.
And what come to my mind, it was almost like, there he goes again. Nothing surprises him.
It just, Well, Tony, when you deal with live TV like I do every morning for 5 hours like that, that's the reason why nothing surprises. That's the reason why nothing surprises, okay?
Y'all do a good job. You really do.
We try.
Guys, we got the baseball tournaments coming up on us. The governors let the conference, they ended up having to share it, Darren and Justin. And but they still got the number 1 seed going into today's son. They'll be playing that down right outside or more inward of the state of Orlando. They'll be playing at Stetson. starting tomorrow. And, Darren, you ought to read their format, how they're going to do their conference tournament. It's nuts. They're going to be in two pools, an A and a B. The top four in A, they're going to play a round robin. The bottom four, or in B pool, they're going to play a elimination. And then the top one out of B plays they go into the top three and play a single elimination. It's nuts. It's really nuts.
It sounds
it sounds like it, right. And, and of course, I just told Damon, Andy's going to knock off Florida, and then they're going to knock off that big orange over there. They're going to get them. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard, but it's going to be fun to see. And if that's not ready, if we're not ready for that, then by God, we can have another NASCAR race and have a fisticuffs. Did y'all see that last night?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Saw it and been listening to reaction. Absolutely.
Yeah, it wasn't just a shove each other. It was some fists.
Oh, yeah. Ricky Stenhouse, he threw a right cross.
Oh, no.
He sure.
He sure did, didn't he? And it was pretty.
But it looked like Kyle Busch's.
That was old NASCAR right there.
Looked like Kyle Busch's left hook was on Ricky Stenhouse Sr. I did see that caption. I think he hit Stenhouse's dad.
Well, that's what if you listen to the audio, you'll hear that over. Hey, don't hit my dad. Hey, don't hit my dad. It's said over and over again.
That's right. He did say that.
Mm-hmm.
He did say it. But yeah, that was crazy, guys. It really was. And that was going to be something. Darren, y'all going to be out here playing tonight or just practice?
Pitching lesson there in Nolensville later tonight. I'll be on the campus of MTSU for a hitting lesson with the home run king. By the way, I don't know if you heard this last week. Mike on our text line put it out there, and I did not realize this, but Bryce Brentz was the home run. He led that country in home runs in 2009 when he was at MTSU. I didn't know that, and that's who my son does hitting lessons with, and he does his pitching lessons in Nolensville.
That's good stuff. It is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk still. I know Vandy scored quite a bit of runs Sunday and Saturday. And how they put that together is, I don't know, after what we saw on Thursday and Friday. Let me ask you something. Just ask him. Dude, Mike Baxter's a coach, and a lot of people are saying he ought to leave. A lot of people are saying, Corb's going to stay loyal to him. His stats, I looked up his stats, Major League stats, and I think he only had 4 home runs, 28 total RBIs, and a 226 batting average in 4.5 years. I know that was his playing time, but wouldn't you think there'd be a little better credentials or something to be a batting coach at a Power 5 university as such? And I don't know. You know more about it than I did, Darren. So I was going to just get your question to get your answer on that.
No.
But
all right.
guys,
thank you, Tony.
Enjoy it and stay away from them cicadas. They'll get you. They'll get you, Justin.
Thank you, sir.
Every time. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. 615-844-5600 is the phone line, the text line. More of the McFarland Show here on WNSR.
Dog parents are loving Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend Premium Dog Food.
The way she acts and the way she moves, it's just so much better. And she acts like she's like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a freeze-dried raw food made with 0 artificial preservatives, so it's naturally shelf-stable with no mess, freezer, or fridge required. Plus, it's full of premium turkey, beef, salmon, and meat your dog will love.
We started with Nature's Blend. She's happy, she sleeps well, she's energetic. I am just delighted with this product.
When given the choice, Nature's Blend and Amazon's #1 bestseller in dry dog food, 29 out of 30 dogs chose Nature's Blend first.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of delicious beef liver treats. Go to drmartypets.com/healthy or text healthy to 511-511. Text healthy to 511-511. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request. Paid for by Dr. Marty's Pets.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
And now, Caesar's Plumbing and Mechanical is reminding motorists to slow down on our roadways, keep an eye out for kids at play, and never text and drive. This message brought to you by veteran-owned and operated Caesar's Plumbing and Mechanical, LLC, serving up to a 50-mile radius from Nashville. For residential or commercial septic and plumbing installations, repairs, service, and construction, give the pros a call today and ask about their veteran and first responder discount, 615-295-5359, 615-295-5359, or visit CaesarsPlumbing.com. That's Caesar's Plumbing and Mechanical, LLC. They're professionals who care.
Five-state forecast. Your exclusive National Sports Radio, WNSR Skyscan forecast. Today we'll have an abundance of sunshine with temperatures near 90. Clear tonight, low 66. Tuesday, sunny, high 90. Sunshine Wednesday, the high 88. Thunderstorms Thursday. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
It's JB and the General.
You know, I'll do my Stugatz weekend observations. Stugatz from the Dan Levitard show. Patton, beep. One thing is sure. Beep. Actually, beep. Two things are sure. Beep. Tennessee is going to the Final Four. Beep. And the Nashville Predators, beep, are winning the Stanley Cup.
Oh.
Beep. Those are my two observations. How about that?
Weekdays 9 to 11, live on WNSR.
The McFarland Show, broadcasting live in Rutherford County on 107.9 FM.
George Plaster and friends following the show today at 4 o'clock. The debut. The Bravos dropped game 1 today to the Padres, 6-5. And they'll be back at it. 5:05 is the coverage for the nightcap. Chris Sale will be on the bump for Atlanta, Vasquez for the Padres. So an abbreviated debut show for George Plaster and friends.
Fun.
That's today, right here on WNSR. Back here on the McFarland Show, we're live in the Strikers Bear Family Fun Center studio on this Monday. Darren and Justin here with you. Orange Damon is alongside. Speaking of Orange, we'll go to Knoxville to be in the second hour with Vince Ferrara, 99.1, the sports animal. Tony brought up Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Busch, and also Ricky Stenhouse Sr., as we would later find out, was involved as well. But a little brouhaha after the race.
They were in North Carolina. This is for the NASCAR All-Star race there in North Carolina. Stenhouse and Kyle Busch. You've seen the fight, okay? You've seen the fight. However, before the fight started, this all started when Busch apparently bumped Stenhouse there just 2 laps into this 200-lap race, okay? Just 2 laps in, sent Stenhouse into the wall. Now, NASCAR is terrific in this way. As soon as the racer gets out of the car, they take him to an area and they can talk to him while the race is going on. So Busch is still racing. Stenhouse has already gone in and is talking to reporters. They asked him about his afternoon. This is what he had to say about Kyle Busch in the whole episode shortly after it happened, while the race was still happening.
Just told Randall that he could tell Kyle I'll see him afterwards over the radio. Since there's no tunnel here, I can't leave. So I'll be here when the race is over.
What do you need to hear from him to make it better?
Nothing. I'll handle it.
And he did.
Nothing.
He wasn't kidding.
He said, now listen. Everybody under the sound of my voice understands what that means. So what do you need to hear from him? Nothing. No, don't worry about it. I'm going to
handle it.
I'm going to handle it. Everybody knows what time it is at that point when there is no. This is something called on site. Like as soon as I see him, it's on. That's what's about to happen.
3 o'clock high. Is that what it was called? 3 o'clock high?
I'm not sure. Listen, it could be 3 o'clock. It could be 3:10. It could be 3:20. As soon as I see you, we're going for it. Okay, that's what that. So what do you need to hear from him? Nothing. I don't even want to talk to him. I'm just gonna see him. He's gonna see me. I'm gonna see him.
Hand slapping. That's what you're gonna hear from.
And then it is what it is at that point. That's what's gonna happen.
3 o'clock high is a movie that you need to have on your summer list when we get there. 3 o'clock high.
3 o'clock high. I don't know what that is, but okay.
1987 movie. It's a classic.
1987.
1987.
Yeah. Classic.
So, the fisticuffs take place. We've seen that. You've seen that video. Fisticuffs takes place. Family, crew gets involved. They asked Stenhouse afterwards, man, why'd you do that? And this is what he said.
Just definitely built up frustration with, how he runs his mouth all the time, about myself. But I know he's frustrated because he doesn't run near as good as he used to, and I understand that.
Doesn't run near as good as he used to, and I understand that.
He kind of stuttered at the beginning too, by the way.
Yeah,
he did.
He's frustrated.
He was having a hard time getting the right words out.
He was frustrated. He recognized there were children watching, and he didn't want to drop any unnecessary language, so he hesitated before he started there. But that's what that is. The thing. Well, I know he's frustrated because he doesn't run as good as he used to, and I understand that. But I'm tired of him running his mouth. Essentially, good grief.
Kyle Busch said, "Bring it. I suck as bad as you."
Yes. I couldn't get clean audio of that, but yes, I did see that as well. The audio wasn't coming through loud and clear, but I saw that. I love the nothing part of this. That to me. Well, what do you need to see from nothing? Nothing. No, nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Don't even worry about it. What are you gonna do? I'll see him when I see him, and we'll take care of it at that point. Man.
Yeah, they said Ricky Stenhouse could face a ban after.
I mean,
give me a break. Again, I hate to say this, but you've heard me say this on the show many times over a year and a half. Unfortunately, it's what it is. But for the most part, not always, NASCAR gets attention when there's a big wreck or there's a fight.
One of these fights happen at least once a year, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Something like this, something akin to this takes place about once a year.
Yeah. All right, we'll take our final break, come back, wrap up the first hour of the McFarland Show next here on WNSR.
Clarksville Electric Service is on the air reminding all motorists to slow down in residential neighborhoods and school zones. Never text and drive, and always designate a driver when celebrating. This message is courtesy of Clarksville Electric Service, serving Clarksville, Tennessee for over 10 years. For commercial and residential installs and maintenance, call Clarksville Electric Service today at 931-614-0186, 931-614-0186, or visit ClarksvilleElectricService.com.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-617-0239. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-617-0239. That's 800-617-0239. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. The package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
The 2024 Atlanta Braves are on a mission to bring home a 7th straight NL East title and head back to the Fall Classic.
Harris to the warning track. Harris will leap, and he got it! He caught the ball! You have got to be kidding me! Swung on, belted, deep right field, gone!
Listen to the NL East defending champs, the Atlanta Braves, only on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
2 Game 7s in the NBA yesterday, both won by the visitors. Indiana went into New York in Madison Square Garden and beat the Knicks. And Minnesota, after blowing out the Nuggets in Game 6, went into Denver and beat the defending champs after being down by 20 to advance to the Western Conference Final.
Wow.
The Minnesota Timberwolves.
Wow.
So 2 Game 7s in the NBA last night, a Game 7 tonight in the NHL. By the way,
NHL,
you had a Game 7, Dallas and Colorado.
Yes.
And that took place on Saturday, double overtime. It wasn't a Game 7. Was it a Game 7? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't a Game 7. It wasn't a Game 7. It wasn't a Game 7.
Okay.
But you had the Stars eliminate Colorado in double overtime. And did you see who had the game-winning goal?
No.
You know why I'm asking.
That guy who used to wear gold here?
Yeah, Matt Duchene.
Wow.
Matt Duchene had the game winner. So the Stars move on to the Western Conference Final. Tonight in Vancouver, it'll be the Knuckleheads hosting the Edmonton Oilers. Game 7. Tough news for Vancouver, though.
Oh.
Brock Besser out. I guess something to do with a blood clot in his leg.
They've been dealing with tough news all series.
I know.
And they just keep chucking along, okay?
But they're the underdog. That tells you how big. I mean, obviously Brock Besser is an important piece to their lineup. Him being out has made Edmonton the favorite to win Game 7 tonight in Vancouver. So another Game 7. I think it's an 8 o'clock start our time.
Yes.
So another Game 7 tonight. Game 7s are so much fun.
Very intense.
Very intense. And now you got 2 Canadian teams, so you know tonight's going to be crazy.
Pride.
So Vancouver, Edmonton tonight, Game 7 in that one. All right, we'll come back. We'll head east. We'll go to Knoxville. We'll check in with our man, Vince Ferrara. We'll do that next here on The McFarland Show, WNSR.
ABC News, I'm Daria Aldinger. The prosecution's rested its case in the hush money trial of Donald Trump. A new witness for the defense, Daniel Sitko, a member of Mr. Trump's legal team, is now on the stand. Judge Juan Merchan saying closing arguments will not begin until at least next week. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says the U.S. had no role in the helicopter crash that killed the president of Iran, Ibrahim Raisi.
This is something that we'll continue to watch, and I don't necessarily see any broader regional security impacts at this point in time.
The U.S. did offer its condolences to Iran. The Biden administration was not pleased to learn that the chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court is seeking arrest warrants for the leaders of Hamas and Israel, accusing them of war crimes and crimes against humanity for their actions during the 7-month war. The Dow is down 181 points, heading for the close. This is ABC News.
Memorial Day is nearly here. Time to fire up for grilling season. Head to omahasteaks.com for the Memorial Day sale with 50% off site-wide. That's 50% off grilling favorites like tender steaks, beefy burgers, and much more. Plus, use promo code QUALITY at checkout to save an extra $30. Their unconditional money-back guarantee backs every purchase. At omahasteaks.com, use code QUALITY at checkout for an extra $30 off. Minimum order may be required.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Paid for by Anthem Tax Services. Attention, if you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-240-4917 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-240-4917. That's 800-240-4917. Again, 800-240-4917.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Oh, righty there.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour of the McFarland Show here on this Monday afternoon. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. You can watch the show every day from 2 to 4 on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You can interact on our YouTube page. Just type in WNSR Live. One word. We'll see your comments, and we can respond. Darren and Justin live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Orange Damon is alongside. He is very excited today for our next guest. It's really when he perks up. Mondays at 3 o'clock when Vince Ferrara, 99.1 The Sports Animal, joins us. Vinny, how we doing?
We're good. Summer's here. How are you guys doing?
Summer is here. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's a good point. I mean, it's close to 90.
I'm not complaining because, you know, it was kind of chilly for quite a while. We had some fair share of storms and stuff like that. But you know, it's all good. It's just, you know, it's different. It's here.
Me and the fam were riding around on Thursday night doing some things, and we were listening to one Vince Ferrara on the call of Tennessee baseball.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah. Great job.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it went well. Those middle innings, especially, I guess, Thursday, they turned things around after falling behind to South Carolina the first two games, and then They led the whole way in Game 3 on Saturday. Those Thursday, Friday, Saturdays are pretty confusing for all of us still, but everybody does it the final weekend. But yeah, Tennessee won in some different ways and took care of their end, and then what do you know? Vandy helps out Tennessee on the final day.
So who is the actual champ?
Both of them are. It's not. They don't use the term shared or co. They're not supposed to. I think somebody might have put out graphics that said co. It's not a co.
Why?
You get to claim that you're champions. The only tiebreaker is used for seeding for the tournament. So yeah, if Arkansas would have had the same record as Tennessee and Kentucky, they would have been able to also claim that they're SEC champions. So they get to claim that they're West champions, just like Tennessee and Kentucky claim that they're can say they're East champions, and SEC overall champions as well, just independently, but only break that up for the SEC tournament.
So what were your thoughts on seeing South Carolina? What were your thoughts on the Gamecocks? Because they had just come off a series, and that it was not going to be. Didn't think it was going to be easy at all for the Vols to get the sweep, and they did. So what were your thoughts on the Gamecocks?
It's crazy. There's a group of teams in the SEC, and they're there with Florida and Vanderbilt. A number of arms, guys that can throw hard with good stuff, just have been highly inconsistent and got some bats. Cole Messina was a pill for Tennessee the first two games. He had like 5 hits, I think, and 6 in the series. They did a better job against him and Petrie, who was a freshman All-American last year, and he's still a great hitter. Those two guys can really hit in their lineup, but it's not. They have a couple of former Vanderbilt guys there, and Casas at third, and Parker Nolan, the Farragut product. Struggle on the mound a little bit with inconsistencies for some guys, and just not enough throughout the lineup. So all those teams have ability. You could tell there's SEC talent there, but just very inconsistent, and that's why you saw a bunch of them kind of grouped together for the SEC tournament and the final standings. Just a whole bunch of 13 and 17 type of teams that if they put it together, they could maybe get some things done in the postseason.
So Vanderbilt will take on Florida on Tuesday afternoon.
Yep.
And the winner will get Tennessee on Wednesday afternoon at the same time. I guess what? Is that
Yep.
Was it 4:30 your time or 4:30 our time?
It's 4:30 Central.
4:30 Central because they're in Hoover. Okay.
Yeah. So how about that? The two biggest rivals, one of those two in baseball for Tennessee, one of those two teams away, Tennessee. And here's a crazy thing. Tennessee, after game 1 of the Kentucky series with 14 SEC games to go, Tennessee was 5 games back of the Wildcats. 5. Vols went 12-2 the rest of the way. Kentucky went 7-7. And so those two things is how Tennessee caught Kentucky. But think about that, making up 5 games in 14 games. It's not easy to do. And the only 2 losses, one was against Vanderbilt, where Tennessee took 2 of 3, and one was against Florida, where Tennessee took 2 of 3. The Vols had other sweeps after that, or in addition to that. So it just depends. We had Tony Vitello on the show each Monday, and he was talking about, hey, is it Carter Holton, who didn't pitch very much in the Kentucky series. When are they going to pitch him? Florida, when does Caglione go on the mound? So you're kind of looking for those kind of things. What they do in game 1, it's tougher for those teams on that first day in single elimination because they can't try to plan stuff out. If you want to win, and for some of these teams, they're either trying to improve their seeding or just solidify their spot in the tournament. you got to kind of let it all hang out and then see what you got left for day 2. So depending on how it goes, it could be advantageous for Tennessee. Or if it's smooth sailing, maybe you are able to save a really good arm against against Tennessee, try to pull the upset. So these tournaments are always really crazy, but it's a huge advantage to get that double bye.
So the 4 games on Tuesday: Georgia, LSU, Alabama, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Florida, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. The losers are going home. They're done.
Correct. Single elimination.
And then you get into Wednesday, then it becomes double elimination. So Tennessee, if they're able to win against either Vanderbilt or Florida, they will take on the winner of Texas A&M and the winner of the Mississippi State Ole Miss game. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So not a double bye for Tennessee, but into double elimination. And then on Saturday, then it goes back to single elimination after that. So that, this is the last year of this format. Obviously, when they go to 16 teams next year, everybody will get in, and it'll be single elimination throughout. But this is the way it's been for a minute. And if you come out of a loser's bracket and you end up winning some games and staying alive, man, you could play a lot of games and use up quite a bit of pitching. But sometimes it hurts you for the NCAA tournament. Other times it makes no impact, and you get momentum. So it goes all different ways. We haven't seen just one way or the other impact those teams. But ideally, you'd like to have the rest as much as anything.
So what? And I think I asked you this last week, but with that being said, you said you've been talking to Tony Vitello, and I know he's not going to probably show his hand. He's never going to say, hey, this isn't important, even though John Calipari did it in basketball. We don't care about the SEC basketball tournament. What do you think, honestly, is their approach? I mean, do they really care about winning in Hoover, or is it about gearing up for the next season, which is regionals?
Well, he's definitely not taking the John Calipari approach, where you're just coming out like just saying we don't care about that kind of stuff. So he is so competitive, guys. Tennessee was celebrating in the next room when they were watching after their game ended. Even though the Vandy Kentucky game started an hour before, that game was still going on. And so they all kind of gathered in the room next to where we do the post-game locker room interview. And so I watched them all celebrate and everything. And so they're all in that room and, watching the end of that. So Tony Vitello, when I talked to him afterwards, he hugged his, guys and came in, and he was as businesslike as anything. You wouldn't think, he didn't get soaked by, Gatorade, jug or anything like that. He was just businesslike. And I'm like, so Tony, how are you going to celebrate? Are you going to scream or do something? So he gets excited in the moment, and then he goes into, hey, I'm the leader of this program. So the way he's sort of danced around it in the past is you keep an eye on the big picture, but you win. And he has shown that he will do what he needs to win. He just won't put his players in any sort of jeopardy, doing things, extending guys way beyond they have in terms of pitches, things like that. So he did tell us that A.J. Russell will pitch in one of the first 2 games. That's the plan, at least. So ideally, they would have liked to have gotten him some work. He did some bullpen on the side and against live, teammate competition, but he hasn't pitched in quite a while. So that could be another addition to what they have in terms of their staff and their arms in the SEC tournament and in the postseason. But there's a lot of capable arms that just don't get a chance to have a role because the top bullpen guys and the starters have them as a group, the top core guys have been so good. So they're kind of in good shape for whatever they want to do to try to win.
Let's get to football here. James Pierce Jr. Being ranked the number 1 player in college football this season by On3 in their top 100. Very impressive guy off the edge for the Volunteers. 10 sacks last season. I know the Vols did not do as well as they wanted to in the draft, I guess, this past year. But next year's looking promising, and I imagine if Mr. Pierce comes out, he would be one of the leaders there, going off the board first for Tennessee.
Yeah, definitely first for Tennessee. Whether he goes number one overall, I'm not certain about that. I mean, there's this draft, and analysts kind of said that going into this past draft, that next year's isn't quite as loaded. It certainly doesn't have the quarterbacks, and because it doesn't have like a marquee, this is the guy at number one, like Caleb Williams was viewed last year, and at other times, I think that kind of moves guys like James Pierce Jr. up. Probably really moved the needle with his pick six against Iowa in the bowl game. I don't know if he's going to be the number one overall player. He's still got room to grow. Like we didn't watch him and say there's a number one overall player in next year's draft. You knew freak athlete, high upside, can be a game changer, especially if he keeps getting better and get some pass rush help. But we'll see what his development is. So, but he's got the quick twitch, the athleticism. He knows how to bring the quarterback down when he gets close to him. So, the talent is there, no doubt about it. He was also the only Tennessee player in that top 100. They had 14 opponents, players that are opponents for Tennessee this year. So, interesting that there's a number of guys they'll see this year, but James Pierce Jr. at the top, that's quite the praise, and we're just not used to seeing that from Tennessee in any sort of rankings like that.
No, very impressive. And boy, he's big too, 6'5" at 242. Boy, that's big and lean there, rushing the quarterback. All right, the other thing from the football world is the over-unders for Tennessee this year, anywhere between 8.5 to 9.5 for their wins for this year. And that means it's an 8-4, 9-3 season for Volunteer fans, unless my math is mathing correctly. That's without the bowl game there. So what are the problem games there? What are the 3 to 4 losses that I guess is my question, Vince, that everybody's circling for Tennessee?
Well, Tennessee has one of the most favorable SEC schedules this year, and I know folks are used to hearing that because Tennessee is typically the one that gets both Florida and Georgia and Alabama, and then other tough teams in the West. It's been rotating, but now that they got a different formula, there are a number of teams that are at the bottom in terms of win projections this year. In fact, the TV show that I do on the local ABC station, the Sports Source, on Sunday mornings, John Pennington, he ran the numbers. Tennessee is second to the bottom in terms of opponent projected wins. He took one of those projected win totals from one of the Vegas services, added those wins up, and Tennessee is like 13th in terms of total number of wins combined by their opponents, with Oklahoma having by far the most. So that tells you that their opponents, there's not a lot expected of them. Arkansas, low expectations. Florida, with a brutal schedule, low expectations. Mississippi State, low expectations. Vanderbilt, low expectations. Oklahoma, name brand, but new quarterback. We'll see. They didn't have any players in that top 100 either, so and they have a very difficult schedule. So, yeah, Georgia and Alabama are there, but there's not the depth of brutal games. It actually is more favorable than what a lot of other teams around the league have. So I would kind of lean on the top end of that. If you're going to go an over, I would go over the 8.5, 9.5, then you get into 10, and that's maybe a little bit dicier. I'm in that 9 range, but I think 8.5. I wouldn't go the under to 8 like some people look at them.
Wow. All right, and so we'll see how it plays out here for them. All right, basketball. Possible portal entry there. Chaz Liner there coming in, or Laner, excuse me, from North Florida, from the Nashville area, visiting a number of schools. He's going to be in Tennessee on Tuesday. What do they like about him?
terrific three-level scorer, can get to the rim, and excellent ball handler. He has a kind of a little bit of an unusual shot. He's a really good shooter in terms of percentage and three-point, but he kind of shoots with the basketball in his hands out in front of his body. I bet Rick Barnes in Tennessee would work on that because they've tweaked guys' shots before, and it's really worked out. That'll probably get your shot blocked in SEC play. But other than that, I mean, he's got everything that Tennessee is looking for. One of the highest rated players in the portal, 6'4", combo guard. They need a guy that can take some point guard minutes and help in Zakai Ziegler, but also kind of play the two, defensively versatile, just an exceptional athlete, and would fit perfectly. It would be a game changer for Tennessee if they're able to land him. He visited BYU on Sunday, Kentucky today, and then Tennessee tomorrow. And then Maryville's been kind of talked about. I don't know if he's got a visit set there yet or not, but it's stiff competition when you're dealing with Kentucky, and who knows how much is a basketball decision for him and how much is an NIL decision. If it's an NIL decision, then you got to favor Kentucky. If it's a basketball decision, then based on what Tennessee can sell with Dalton Connect last year and the team that they've brought in, and doing well in the portal, then Tennessee would be in a good spot, especially because he's from the Mid-State.
I was going to say, how about as we wrap up, about the Lady Vols making it look pretty darn easy in the regionals. On to the Supers. But they'll get an SEC team in the Supers in Alabama.
What a surprise.
I
That's
know.
never happened before.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
I will say this, though, because I'm like you, Darren. Immediately you kind of go, not conspiracy theory, but you kind of think, all right, they're going to match up a bunch of the SEC teams, so they'll meet in the Super Regional. So they'll clip each other, and there won't be as many in the
World Series.
The Women's College World Series. But they didn't really do that. Tennessee, Alabama was the only one where there was a potential super regional matchup, and that's the case. That's the only one. The other five from the SEC are all separated, playing someone not in the SEC. So that's why you could have as many as 6 of the 8 from the SEC in the Women's College World Series. Definitely one in the winner of the Knoxville Super Regional, but those two rivals have gotten after it a lot. Tennessee was the only team to shut out all 3 teams and not give up a single run. And they've been best ERA team in the country this year. But they didn't give up a single run in any of their 3 games. No one else did that in any of their super regionals. And Alabama not quite as good as they've been in the past, but man, with the postseason experience they've got, they'll be a threat. They'll be a handful for sure. But it's big expectations for the number 3 national seed with the Lady Vols. So nobody is set up better, baseball and softball, to potentially win a title from one or both of those 2 sports like Tennessee is, even though a number of teams are having success in both. And Tennessee this weekend became the first team to have in the same year SEC men's basketball championship, baseball, and softball all in the same year. That's never been done in the Southeastern Conference before. There are a lot of other sports going well at UT right now. So Damon and Vol fans, really a lot to brag about these days.
I didn't follow up to see if they came out. I saw Missouri lost the first game. Did they end up winning their regional, or did they lose?
They did. Missouri and Georgia were the only 2 teams that advanced to the Supers coming out of the losers bracket. They won 3 games in 2 days.
Wow.
And it was all chalk except for 2, Louisiana and Arkansas, the only national seeds that did not advance to the Supers. So pretty chalky, which makes also very interesting and appealing brand versus brand Supers all around the country.
Yep. Good stuff as always, Vince. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
You have a great week, and I guess Memorial Weekend, so we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, guys. Always great to be on with you.
Thank you. Vince Ferrara, 99.1 The Sports Animal there in Knoxville. Does a morning show with John Wilkerson every day, and as you just heard, also does Tennessee baseball games with John Wilkerson as well. We're wide open the rest of the hour if you want to get involved. 615-844-5600. That's how you can do it as you listen to the McFarland Show here on WNSR.
The Tennessee Lottery congratulates this year's graduates from all the colleges and universities across the state. Your achievements set the stage for a brighter tomorrow. We're happy to have helped along the way by raising more than $7 billion for education and funding over $1.9 million scholarships and grants, including Hope Scholarships, Tennessee Promise, and much more. Visit dionlottery.com to see how our proceeds support successful futures.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor.
Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get 20% off our award-winning sauces with code SPORTS at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
We're talking to Nick Casario. I'm not sure how much you're willing to divulge in terms of the trade for Stephon Diggs, but how did that deal go down?
It wasn't something that we necessarily had on the radar. It wasn't necessarily something I think Buffalo was necessarily shopping. At some point, we felt there was an opportunity for us. And I think if you look around the league, just teams are more open-minded. In the end, every team has to do what they feel is in their best interest. And in the end, we were able to work out an agreement with stuff and get them on the team.
Jim Rome is here weekdays 11 to 2 on Nashville Sports Radio, WNSR.
The McFarland Show, streaming live on the WNSR app and on WNSR.com.
Following our show today, it'll be the debut of George Plaster and Friends at 4 o'clock.
There you go.
But an abbreviated show for them, their first show, because the Braves lost 6-5 to the Padres earlier today.
They did.
They will play tonight. And the coverage will begin at 5:05. First pitch at 5:20. So basically an hour of plasmo. 615-844-5600 is how you get in touch with us. And we're having fun here on this Monday afternoon. Mike responded to Tony's question, which we never got to, on the text line. Said most college hitting coaches never played MLB. Vanderbilt had 30 hits in their last 3 games at Kentucky. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing that Mike said. Look, just because you had success as a player doesn't mean you're going to make a great coach. In fact, most don't. Most of your coaches either never played at the highest level or played very, very sparingly, or were just, journeyman or what. I mean,
yeah,
it's just they come in all shapes and sizes, right?
They do.
And so sometimes you're a great player and it translates to a great coach, and sometimes you never even played the game and you're a great coach.
Sometimes you have the mind for the game, but not the body for the game.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
All the time. I mean, we're seeing it all. We're seeing it a lot in football now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, guys like Sean McVay and those guys.
We saw it a lot in football before. We just, like, what kind of player was Bill Walsh? Do you remember? I don't. As far as, an actual player is concerned. It's not all the times, the great players. Jimmy Johnson, I don't remember him, running out there being a great player. I'm not sure if he played at all. We've always kind of seen it. It just goes in cycles for a while. Now we were hiring former players, former big-time players to go out there and do it. Now we're not. Now we're hiring people like the Titans' new coach, who has not played a lick of NFL football.
Yep.
And he's the first Titans coach ever not to have played a down of NFL football. How about that? So that's a different direction for the franchise.
For this franchise,
yeah.
Yes. But the league is littered with, Matt LaFleur in Green Bay.
Sure.
I mean, we can go up and down the list, and that's just kind of the new thing. I mean, there's a lot of coaches that never played that level, but yet they're a head coach at the highest level. So, yeah, I really wouldn't look into that. I agree with Mike. Like, really, your resume has nothing to Mike Baxter played the MLB.
Sure.
I mean, I don't want to say cup of coffee. I think he played full-time, several seasons. I know that. I remember with the Mets he did. I'd have to look up his numbers. I mean, did he have this long, illustrious career? No. In the bigs? No. But Mike Baxter was a really good college player. And a decent professional player. I mean, and had his moments.
A lot of players who can't coach because, they cannot teach the greatness that they already have on to someone else. So sometimes that's a hindrance. They expect other people to be just as good as they are without realizing how good they actually were, what it was that made them so good. And they think you can go teach that to somebody, and you can't.
Yeah, they're just made differently.
Yeah,
they're wired differently, and it's probably frustrating to them as
extremely
because they want everybody to be like them.
Yeah,
and everybody can't.
No,
that's why they were special. Okay, well, speaking of Brian Callahan.
Brian Callahan spent the weekend talking to The Athletic. The Athletic has gotten into some of everything.
Well, I think it was an Athletic podcast, correct?
It was, yes. An Athletic podcast. He sat down and talked with them extensively. Now, Darren and I just mentioned the fact that this Titans season is going to be different. And it's going to be different because Brian Callahan is not only going to be throwing the football, but he's also going to be bringing a different coaching philosophy into the Titans facility. Most of the people under the sound of my voice were taught to play whatever it is. I don't care what it is. Football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, whatever it is. You did what your coach told you. Your coach taught you a technique. You did the technique. Your father taught you a technique. Your uncle taught you a technique. Whoever the authority figure, fill in the blank was, they taught you the technique. They taught you how to play. It was your job as the player to go out and execute said technique. You didn't talk back. You didn't ask any questions. You just went out and did the technique. And if you won or lost, a lot of times they would say, well, you didn't, play the way we practiced or whatever it is. You didn't execute. How many times have you heard that over the years, Darren? What happened today, Coach? Well, we didn't execute the things that we went out to practice. All the time. Players didn't execute. This is going to be different. Brian Callahan is bringing a different philosophy into the building, one that includes talking to players more about what makes them feel comfortable. Now, he got this started by talking with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, of course, the franchise quarterback there in Cincinnati. Listen to the interaction between our story that Brian Callahan is about to tell between him and Joe Burrow and how he's bringing that here.
It was early in maybe 21 season, and we had maybe handed the ball off. I think we had a couple of run, throw on third down, trying to take some heat off, and you're like, oh, we'll run the ball a little bit. And he came in immediately after the game in the locker room, we won the game. I can't remember what game it was. Gave him a hug, said, great job. And he's kind of standing really close to me, and he goes, it's really hard when we just run the ball twice and you ask me to throw it on third down, right? And I was like, well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for the insight.
and so it's like, but he knew what made him comfortable, and that's when you saw us. We started leaning into a lot more of the early down passing, and those are things that he felt comfortable with, and we weren't a great rushing team at the time, and he just was like, I don't like the way this is. I don't like the way that you guys are calling the game, and it's like, well, okay, we could take that into account. Sure, I appreciate the feedback. And
the fact that he would feel, maybe he would do this with anybody, but the fact that you guys fostered an environment there where there was that level of healthy communication, that seems to be the way to get the most out of your quarterback at the end of the day.
I think that's the way to get the most out of your players. And you want an environment where the players have, they're not afraid to voice an opinion. And sometimes, and a lot of the times, I've found that they're usually right. They're the ones that are playing. And so to be dismissive of what they say, what they see, and their opinions on football, I think that's you're missing an opportunity. And I've always felt like that was one of our strengths, I think, in Cincinnati, is that we had an environment where guys were, hey, did you guys ever think about this? Or what about this route? Or how can I run it like this? And that feedback to me has always been like, well, yeah, let's try it. Like, let's try it. If you think it's going to be good, let's try it. If you have an observation during a game on the sideline, hey, call that again. You want an environment where guys are comfortable and confident in telling you their likes and dislikes, and it's not personal. They're not telling you, like, I hate your scheme. They're just saying, I don't like that play.
How do you foster that, though? Because with you guys, you had so much time together in Cincinnati that comfort just inevitably is going to build over time. Well, how do you instill that from day one?
You have to start that way. You have to start with, I ask Will a lot of questions. And to me, that's how I've, at least from my opinion, that's how I've started to ask opinions. And then when they give you an opinion, listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just dismiss the opinion once you've asked for input. And so it's that give and take of asking questions and listening to responses. And then when they give you a response about something in particular, and you do it. I think there was a time and a place maybe over history where, I coach, you play,
you listen,
and you do what I tell you. And then there's a probably an element of like authoritative, militaristic in a sense.
Absolutely.
Like you're taking orders. You're a soldier. You take orders, and I think that's just changed. I think players today, they want to know why. They want to know. They want to have input. They want to feel like their opinions are valued, and I think that's what a healthy working relationship looks like in any field, but in particular in our game, where the days of like being able to just say, hey, this is how we're doing it. Be quiet, do what I say. I just don't think players respond to that.
So that would suggest a new day. Now, I don't know, Darren. I see you chomping at the bit a little bit here. I don't know how the fan base and everybody else is going to be. I mean, this is a very different philosophy than anything we've ever seen here coming to the building.
Well, probably the smirk was, I wonder if that was he wasn't here, but I mean, look, when you're in those circles, you and the building, the people that are still here would say, I wonder if that was a direct shot.
It could have been. I mean, listen.
At the previous regime.
I know there's been a lot of change, but let's not kid ourselves. The majority of the players who were here last year are going to be back this year. And there has been a lot of change. There has been. But the typical turnover rate is not half. It's about 30%, but it's not half. So a good 70% of the team that was here last year is going to be back again this year. And a lot of those guys are going to be role players and people like that. But, you didn't replace everybody. It's not a completely new house.
Yeah. And same holds true in the building.
Yeah. The staff members, the security, the chefs, the grounds crew, all those guys didn't change.
Film practice, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's going to feel a little different in that we're going to run things, or they're going to run things that play to the strengths, or at least the perceived strengths, what a player believes their strength is. And that includes a lot of input from Will Levis, a lot of input from, whomever it is, from his receivers. It's just very, very different. I can't imagine, and I don't know, I wasn't in there, but I can't imagine that Mike Vrabel did a whole lot of communication with the guys, asking them how did you feel about today's game plan, or do you have any suggestions about, changes you want to make to whatever it is we're doing? I just don't see that from him. Maybe he did, and I just didn't know. But I don't perceive that from him, nor any of the other coaches that came before him with this organization. They all came through the line of exactly what Brian Callahan kind of spoke against, is that I have got a plan. Here is the plan. Go execute the plan. That's you guys' job. My job is to lay it out. You guys' job is to go execute. Players have said as much. Well, it's not. What do you think is the problem? Well, it's not my problem. It's not my job to talk about what the problem is. My job is to go out and execute whatever the coaches call. So that's the coach's decision. So we will go out there and do what the coaches do. That has been the line for a long time. And that is starting to change, it would sound like.
You sent me a video of Will Compton in a meeting room.
Yeah, we can't play that.
No, we can't. But one, I don't know how that got out there. I don't know the background behind it. Obviously, I watched it, but
yeah. It was something that Will Compton put out himself.
Was this recent?
It was obviously while he was playing with the Titans. So however many years ago that was, because he played with the Titans a couple of different times.
But it was when he was playing? He put that out on social media?
Well, no, he didn't put it out when he was playing.
That's
video
what I'm
was
getting
taken.
at.
Yeah. Well, he just put it out recently. Or
That's what I was.
did.
That's what I'm getting at.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, he did that when he was playing.
No.
So he did that.
The video was taken while he was playing, but no.
This is when he's now full time bussing with the boys,
yeah.
He's out of football.
Yeah. This just came out.
Now that makes sense.
Yeah, this just came out.
But that does kind of lend an insight to Mike Vrabel, if you haven't seen this video, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's poking fun. I mean, he is doing a Saturday Night Live skit on his head coach.
Now, Vrabel's there in the room.
He
so
is.
It's not like, he's doing this behind Vrabel's back or it's a big joke or whatever.
But the players are crying.
They're dying laughing.
They are dying
because he's probably nailed it spot on.
Right.
Spot on.
But paint the picture for Radioland, for our listeners, of kind of how he's portraying Mike Vrabel as we talk about what we just heard there and what we were saying about Brian Callahan.
Well, what struck me as funny is, okay, guys, we got 3 big takeaways. Hey, 52, what's the 3 big takeaways? And everyone died laughing because it's not like he's going to say it. He's going to ask you to say it. Typically dragging players as well, out there in the field. Hey, you look like a so-and-so doing so-and-so out there. My grandmother can hit harder than that, blah, blah, blah. That kind of ragging on while watching the film. It was an environment that felt very much like, guys, I know what to do. If you just do what I asked you to do, everything will be fine. And the reason why it's not going the way we want it to do is because you guys are not doing what I'm asking you to do.
You know what it felt like to me?
What's that?
I thought of the Tom Brady roast.
Okay.
When you have all those expatriates and they were talking about Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And kind of having fun at his expense.
Yeah.
He used in fact, I don't remember if it was Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski. I don't remember who it was. But basically one day of practice, you guys couldn't beat and fill in the blank high school team, right?
Yeah.
And that felt right. It sounds like there's probably a lot of Mike Vrabel stuff.
Yeah.
That he learned from Bill Belichick playing with the Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Is that honestly
no.
It wasn't perfect, the Will Compton skit compared to the Tom Brady roast, but I thought there was a lot of similarities.
But now we go down the lineage, Darren, because Bill Belichick, passed that to Mike Vrabel. Bill Belichick coached under Bill Parcells. And and what kind of coach was Bill Parcells? Was
right.
He wasn't, ask Phil Simms how that went. I mean, they weren't exactly the, hey, coach, I think we should do this.
It wasn't warm and fuzzy.
No, it wasn't a whole lot of suggestions. It was, Phil, go do what there's open arguments on the sideline between those two. We now know Phil Simms to be very opinionated about the game of football, and those two butting heads. Now, listen, they won 2 Super Bowls and all that, but the process of getting there was not the smoothest one.
Terry Bradshaw, Chuck Noll butted heads.
Terry Bradshaw and Chuck Noll.
A lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
again,
I've got opinions, and we're not doing, what I think is right.
Yeah.
And, coach is like, listen, it's my way or the highway, all right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been the running joke for years that, Bill Parcells, being the hard butt that he was, really the only player he let do whatever he wanted to do was Lawrence Taylor. That was it. It was like Lawrence Taylor rules and everybody else's rules.
And Lawrence, let him.
He kind of let things slide with Lawrence Taylor.
But that defensive coordinator was Bill Belichick.
Yes.
So, you see where the learning tree drops off the seeds.
Yep. All right, let's take another break. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line as you listen to the McFarland Show here on this Monday afternoon on WNSR.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Paramount Roofing and Exteriors, LLC, is proudly saluting our troops and veterans. Their tireless efforts should never go unnoticed. This message is brought to you by Paramount Roofing and Exteriors, LLC, serving Middle Tennessee. For all of your roofing, siding, window, door, and exterior needs, give the pros a call today at 615-635-1790. 615-635-1790. That's Paramount Roofing and Exteriors, LLC. AJ and the staff are professionals who care.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it, the price of everything is going up, and if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, the financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
Do you ever feel like gambling is causing financial strain or hurting your relationships? The Gambling Clinic has been helping people who want to change their gambling habits for over 2 decades. With physical clinics and remote online appointments, we're here to help you make informed decisions about your gambling so it doesn't lead to a bigger problem. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com so we can work together to help you win your life back. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
It's a Bill King Show.
We created a rule decades ago on the show. Weddings, things of that nature, during the playing portion, do not get consideration. No. Don't do that. Weddings are meant for the spring. They do not get consideration during the playing portion of the season. That's just the way we work it around here. That's the way we play it around here.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
George Plaster and Friends coming up following the McFarland Show, the debut. It'll be abbreviated, though.
Yes.
Because the Bravos will try to get back a game they lost earlier today, 6-5 to the Padres. They will play a nightcap game. Their game Saturday night was rained out. 5:20 is first pitch, 5:05 coverage beginning right here on WNSR. So 1 hour of George Plaster and Friends.
Braves still looking for their first win this series, I think. It was 9-0 the night before. Yesterday
9-0 or 9-1.
9-1, Saturday night. So it has not gone well so far for a homestand.
Well, no, they lost 9-1 last night. Sunday Night Baseball.
Oh, it was 9-1 last night.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the heartbreaker today, giving up all those runs in the top of the 8th.
I was actually watching a little bit of that game, and I know they've done this before. This is not anything new, but it's good that baseball is like thinking outside the box and doing more of this stuff because this is where we are today. Like, I mean, they're in the middle of an inning, and Ozzie Albies is mic'd up, and they're literally just doing, like, we've seen it in all-star games, but that's an exhibition, right?
Yeah.
And again, I know they've done this before, but I mean, they're doing it during a game.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic because
I guess if it's not a disruption, then I guess it's all right, I suppose.
But I mean, he's like, they have a strikeout, and they're throwing it around the diamond, and he's still talking, doing the interview. I think it's cool. I think that's where we are today.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing for the sport. That's just me personally. I'm sure there's all kinds of people that are like, roll their eyes and like, baseball you should not do it. They're trying to play a game. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I can go either way on it. I can't.
I just thought it was cool.
It is kind of cool. Before the break, we were talking about Coach Brian Callahan and his new approach that he's bringing to the Titans as far as listening to players more and incorporating their ideas into the offense with the belief that if the players believe in it, then it will go better as far as going out and executing it because it's something that the players really hardcore believe in. My question to you, Darren, and to anybody else who wants to chime in is when does that reach a limit? Because it's got to reach a limit somewhere. Like, you cannot turn it completely over to players entirely. Now, Darren, I know you coach kids, and kids are not paid professionals with expertise into whatever it is. But, I'm sure that you'll listen to players to a certain degree when it comes to certain things. But after a while, you have to go, okay, listen, I understand you want to do that, but we're not doing that today. We need to go out here and do fill in the blank. So when does the coach become the coach again, the authoritarian versus sort of your friend? I mean, it sounds like parenting, honestly, and I'm not a parent, but it sounds like different parenting techniques. Well, some parents want to be negotiators with their child, and others want to be more the drill sergeant style. Hey, kid, you're going to do what I say because I love you and I know what's best, so do it.
It's not an apples to apples comparison. So we're talking about professional athletes. We're talking about grown men. We're talking about adults and probably people that have been playing the game for, if not all their life, the majority of their life.
Close to 20 years.
I've been dealing for the last 5 years with 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, then 10-year-olds, then 11-year-olds, and now 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
And so have I watched them grow up? Sure. And get a better baseball IQ and this and that. And is there? Sure. But I mean, it's impossible. Like, do I still have to deal with that? Because now they just played their first season of middle school ball and they think they've got it all figured out. I'm calling pitches and I get, I take it for a little bit, for a very short amount of time of them blowing off my pitches that I'm calling and doing their own thing. And then I'm like, enough.
Yeah.
Pitch the pitch.
Yeah.
Then I'm calling.
Yeah. We're calling this for a purpose.
Stop. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're calling this for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. You're 12 years old. I love you. You're a great player. Stop calling off quit shaking off my pitches.
Yeah.
Stop. But that's really the extent of it. I mean, maybe base running too. The other one, like, I always say this is my slogan. We're going to be aggressive, but not reckless.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get reckless, and that's when I have to step in.
Yeah.
In other words, I'm cool with sometimes they go rogue. And I'm like, I'm cool if you're going to go rogue, but you better get there.
You better make it. Yeah.
You better get there.
Yeah. I remember that.
Don't start going rogue and then become reckless.
Yeah.
And run us out of innings. And so, again, I'm okay with, having a little freedom.
Yeah.
But you better make it work.
Okay.
All right. We'll take our final break, come back and put a bow on Monday's edition of the McFarland Show here on WNSR.
There's something that binds us all. The constant hunger to improve. The obsession with every detail. And the reward of a custom fitting taking your game to a whole new level. We're all bound by 2 words said by golfers worldwide. Schedule your fitting at Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Find your local store at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back just for buying the gas I was going to buy anyway.
But is it a hassle to use?
No, it's super fast and easy, and I can cash out whenever I want.
That's a total no-brainer. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LIFT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code LIFT. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LIFT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LIFT.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Atlanta Braves baseball is back, and the battle for a 7th straight division title is officially on.
Hit high and deep to left center. This has got a chance. Gone! Another home run for Olsen. He smokes another one. He lit the fuse on this bomb, and that's gone.
Listen to every pitch live, exclusively on your home for Atlanta Braves baseball. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Welcome back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Game 7 tonight, Vancouver and Edmonton. No Brock Besser. Tough break for the Knuckleheads. Apparently a blood clot in his leg. That's affected the odds. The Oilers are the favorite. Dallas Stars are sitting and waiting for their opponent for the Western Conference Final. We had two fantastic Game 7 NBAs yesterday. Game 7s are so much fun.
They are.
And then another Game 7 tonight in the hockey world with Vancouver and Edmonton. And I believe, everybody else is done. So this is where we're going to get down to all the conference finals after tonight.
Yeah.
In hockey and basketball.
It should be a lot of fun. We're down to the Final Four in the NBA, and we'll get there. If you're Vancouver, I think you're looking for frogs outside or locusts or some other type of plague because some of everything has come against you, and somehow they just keep on soldiering on. So if they can win this game tonight, what a testament it will be to that organization.
No kidding.
If they can get this done tonight against a very tough Edmonton team.
Yeah, because
tough.
By the way, Demko hasn't played since Game 1 against the Preds.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm assuming he's out.
I would think so at this point.
He's out for the playoffs.
I mean, you've made it this far without him. Why would you bring him back at this point?
Yeah, Sheloffs has been good.
If you've gone through the Predators and you've gone through Edmonton without him, now we're going to bring you back for the Western Conference Finals? Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's okay.
By the way, Rashee Rice has not had a good offseason for the Chiefs.
No.
But was at OTAs today.
He should have been. That's the place he should be. He should absolutely be there. He should have been the first guy at the facility.
Yeah.
Waiting in the car
he
in the parking
been
lot.
Sleeping in his car.
Absolutely. Is it open yet? Is the time yet? Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of that, the Titans will be out on the field tomorrow, OTAs.
Yeah, hear from coach and some players.
All right, that's going to do it for our show today. The debut of George Plaster and Friends.
Welcome back, Plaz.
Plashmo. That's coming up next here on WNSR. Have a great rest of your day.